Hi, and welcome to the video course for CompTIA's A+ 902 certification exam. My name is Patrick Lohner, and I'll be your instructor on this course. We'll start with just a little bit about my background. I've been in the IT industry for just over 16 years. Just like most people, the first certification that I got was the A+ certification. I remember the class to this day. Started working immediately with hardware and software. And actually, about a year or two later, started doing training myself. I also got a Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer certification, and I was involved and have been involved since then in teaching both CompTIA classes as well as various Microsoft classes. Now, in addition to just doing training, I also was the administrator of the network at the first training center that I worked at, and for several years I worked with a consulting agency. We provided support for small businesses who didn't have their own IT. So we would go out on service calls to do just about anything. Fix desktops, fix printers, fix router and firewall issues, set up wireless access points, all of those things that are very much A+ related. So I got a lot of hands-on experience during those years working with a lot of the things that we're going to be talking about in this course. Now, this is the second course of two courses of two exams that you'll need to take and pass to get your A+ certification. The first course focuses on hardware. This course mainly focuses on operating systems. And so we're going to start by just talking about an introduction to operating systems, introduction to Windows operating systems, as well as alternative operating systems, Macs, OS X, Linux distributions. Then we'll get into installing and configuring the Windows operating system, followed by ongoing configuration and management of Windows. CompTIA is giving a little bit more time these days to Mac and Linux. We've got some inclusion of some new objectives. So we'll have a chapter on alternative operating systems, but still the vast majority of your questions are going to be on Windows. Windows Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, and Windows 8.1. After we look at alternative operating systems, we'll take a look at virtualization and cloud computing concepts. We'll just show how those are used in today's environment, hopefully demystify the term cloud computing for you. Okay, then we're going to look at mobile devices. And mobile devices are another big inclusion in really both the hardware and the software version of the A+ exam. Here we're going to focus primarily on the actual operating systems themselves. And the main focus from CompTIA is on Android and iOS. Those are the two major mobile operating systems that are used on a vast majority of devices that are owned by people today. Another section in this set of objectives is related to security. So we'll have a chapter on security, realizing, of course, we may not be directly involved with security in the organization, but really security is a responsibility of everybody. So we have to be aware of threats, we have to be aware of the different methods that we can use to try to prevent those threats, and we have to be able to help users in configuring those various options. Okay, and then we're going to look at troubleshooting and operational procedures. We'll start by talking about troubleshooting theory, just general professionalism, and communication basics. We'll talk a little bit about safety, and then we'll go through a wide variety of symptoms related to operating systems, mobile devices, and security, and just discuss how we can identify those symptoms, what they're related to, and then what tools we can use to fix those. So we have a lot to cover. It's time to get started.